Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Good morning. Hello, all you long-suffering silver lovers. We have some action going on. First of all, I posted another discussion with Jenny Moonstone about silver. Some of the secret silver agreements that have been signed. You might be wondering, why isn't anybody in the billionaire banker world or the investment community buying silver? There are secret agreements behind the scenes. We delve into those along with a lot of great silver stuff. So go check that out. Silver is playing with that all-important $32.50. All the tech guys are saying $32.50, $32.50. If it can go above $32.50 and stay there with the volume and support, it's going right to $50. And then we all know after 50, the tech guys are going to just be scratching their head because it's never been over $50. Yeah, it could happen any day. I think we'll see an untethered price of silver coming up very soon, meaning 180 years of silver price suppression may be over very soon. So I hope you guys have all your physical silver. Now, it doesn't mean they can't click a mouse and make the price go to minus $40 like they did with oil. This is a rigged market. It's a rigged game. I guarantee you, if they do that, your price of physical silver will barely change because it's two different markets. There's the COMEX market that sets the price of silver, and there's a physical market that is being consumed by every single country on the planet and people and every electronic device. It is insane how much silver has been gobbled up and disposed of, so to speak. Very highly unlikely that a lot of the silver in the dumps of the world, wherever electronics go to die, that will get recycled. It's very unlikely that a lot of that will happen. Now, some of it is happening. They're trying to do it affordably with the solar panels. They just can't yet. And with them putting in less and less silver in solar panels, according to Jeffrey Christian, it'll be harder and harder to extract and more costly to extract. So, silver can't be pulled out of solar panels with less than probably about $100 an ounce silver. At $100 an ounce silver, they might be able to get some. But remember, these are assets. Most of these assets within the last 2 or 3 years, and these are 30 to 40-year assets that'll be there. So they won't be available. Now, at some point, maybe say $1,000 or $2,000 silver, some of these, it might make sense to pull down a lot of these solar farms and get the real value back out of the panels and pay all the money to do it. Oh, it's so crazy. This world is just crazy. These assets have been misallocated so many times. It's interesting, the remote viewing guys saw misallocation of assets in their completely blind viewing. That's what's happening right now. So we're coming to the end of the silver rigging job. If you have silver mining companies, good luck. You're not going to make it. They won't survive. They'll all get nationalized. Obviously, they would. Any country would. If the monetary system fails, you're gonna hang on to what you got. You're not going to let foreigners own your mine. And no, it just won't happen. So Mexico has already been talking about nationalization. Every country will, even the United States will probably nationalize. Now, we'll have a constitution that's going to say, well, what are we going to do? Should we nationalize and pay fair market value to the investors? So basically, before the price of silver jumped dramatically, your stock was worth this, so here's the cash. See you later. Or just not at all. Or just say, hey, it's a national emergency. Our monetary system has been destroyed. We're going to use gold and silver as money. So we're going to go after it, especially like ETFs. I can't believe anybody actually invests in ETFs. It's shocking. First of all, JPMorgan is a custodian, which tells you a lot. I've been talking about a long time that Warren Buffett is on the side of the good guys, will ultimately buy as much silver as possible. Same with Elon Musk. I think that has already happened. I think there are signs that deal, the transaction that Warren signed with Bank of America and JPMorgan Chase to take the 1.2 billion ounces, I don't think he got it all, but a very large number into his own possession. And he did it by promising BofA he'll prop up their stock, which he did. And I will show you exactly where that is. As a matter of fact, the reason I'm saying this is the latest in the headlines. Buffett sheds more BofA shares after buybacks push stake above 10%. So Buffett's trying to get his amount of BofA stock in his hand below 10% so he doesn't have to report every day or every other day. It's just quarterly. And then he's going to dump it all by the end of the year, and that's the end of that game, and he ends up with all the physical silver. BofA probably structured a lease with HSBC, is my guess. And these, you could take a lease and sublease it. And then at the bottom of the barrel was probably Warren Buffett saying, okay, I'll buy all of it at a fixed purchase price, 2% or 3% above what today's price is, or 10% above what today's price is. So he'll end up with a physical, and then BofA, depending on how they structured the or the JPMorgan lease, would either have to buy out the lease at a fixed price, which is probably what they did. I know JPMorgan booked a $1 billion gain when they did this lease documentation. The same year they got fined $920 million. I don't know if it was all in silver, but it was probably mostly in silver because they needed to offset the loss. So they just sold it. In a lease with a fixed back end is called a capital lease. It's not an operating lease, so you don't have to give back the metal. You have a fixed back end. You either pay it off or whatever the contract says, because BofA couldn't book the gain unless they did that. So, yeah, lots going on behind the scenes. Anyway, this is on Zero Hedge. 94-year-old Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway offloaded even more Bank of America shares this week to sustain the less than 10% regulatory threshold, a move triggered by the bank's own share buybacks, which pushed Berkshire's stake back up above 10% mark. Buffett's strategy is clear: keep the stake below the threshold to avoid constant SEC reporting that results with every sale. Bloomberg data shows that Berkshire total proceeds from BofA shares topped $370 million this week. The selling abruptly began in mid-July. So I tracked. Now this is the price of the BofA share. I'm like, that little graph looks very familiar. Why does that graph look so familiar? Voila, it's almost identical to the price of silver. Why is it jumping up and going down? Because, I mean, literally, I believe the Buffett deal to buy, he's the majority shareholder in Bank of America still, even though he's been dumping. It was to prop up BofA and to get silver into the hands of Warren Buffett to destroy the banking cabal and get us back to a gold silver standard. This will be Buffett's last move. And then now he's got, a treasure trove. I don't know how many billions of dollars that he has in cash, but he still has $32 billion in JPMorgan shares of stock. $32 billion. Why does that ring a bell? Well, if you have 1 billion ounces of silver potentially available, and you own 32 at 32.50, it's almost exactly the 32.64 billion. So yeah, the value of Warren Buffett's BofA stock is exactly the value of 1 billion ounces of silver right now. What does that tell you? I don't know. You got me. I do know. I have figured out over the years that Warren Buffett was working for the good guys, trying to take out the bad guys, and obviously silver is the Achilles heel. Today, the amount of BofA stock that Buffett bought to bail out Bank of America back 5 years ago, it was probably a 5-year deal, is exactly equal to the amount of silver that BofA leased from JPMorgan. That's all in the OCC data, and you can tell me I'm wrong. Go ahead. I just there's so much evidence. There's so much smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a lot of fire right now. So I don't know how this will all end, but it's going to get really silly very fast. So you have to get physical silver in your own possession. You might still be able to get some today. On the retail side, it's pretty much dead. On the wholesale side, India bought, another 10 million ounces last month. India is going to buy 200 million ounces this month. China, by unknown, about 400 million ounces going into solar panel, 450. I'm guessing 450. And it's not a guess, it's a calculation, because they're going to do over 600 gigawatts DC of solar power in 2024. I mean, and it's mostly TopCon. A vast majority of TopCon, which uses a lot more silver than the PERC. So I'll be interested in see how the Silver Institute and Metals Focus lies about the numbers again. Changing historical numbers is not only misleading, it should be criminal. I don't know if it is, but changing historical numbers and then having the whole world quote your numbers as if they're gospel without telling anybody, that should be criminal, in my opinion. And that's Silver Institute did that on their latest report, and it supposedly came from Metals Focus. I've talked to both the leaders of those organizations, and yeah, the Metals Focus guy was up front. Yeah, we change the numbers all the time. I go, why would you change historical numbers? Well, we have more information. Or you're trying to rig the number so it doesn't look as bad as it actually is. So, anyway, very interesting times. Again, you go back to, you look at the graph. Here's the graph of silver, same exact thing. A big drop, a bump up. A big drop, a big drop, a bump up. A big drop. You look at the BofA stock, a big drop, a bump up, a big drop. It's almost exact. And now, as of today, the price of JP or Warren Buffett's owned silver, owned BofA shares, 32 billion, is equal to the price of his, say he just did a billion ounces back-end lease, sublease, or fixed purchase price more likely at the end. And they're exactly the same. So this is a structured deal, in my opinion. And it always was. It always was. And Warren Buffett's always been working to fulfill his father's wishes. He idolized his father. His father wanted to go back to a gold and silver standard. In the 1940s, there was a very powerful congressman, gave a speech. Read the Howard Buffett speech to Congress about the absolute necessity to go back to a gold standard, and you'll understand what Warren Buffett really thinks about that barbarous relic that you just bury in the ground and it doesn't give you any return. Warren's not that stupid. But he is crafty, and he does want to take out the banking cabal. He's always hated Wall Street. His family's hated. They've fought Wall Street the whole time. So this will be the last hurrah for the 94-year-old Warren Buffett. Return the United States to gold silver standard. I do think he is buying this silver for the majority of it will go back to the U.S. Mint for coinage in the new silver standard and gold standard. I guess we'll find out soon enough, right? Anyway, that's what I got for you. Again, if silver holds above the $32.50, the tech guys are saying this is something big. So obviously the people who don't want it to go above will be defending it. So dumping all these naked shorts on it, and we'll see what happens. But right now, it's holding a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of holding. But they know. I mean, the whole market knows that 3250 is the number. And then the volumes go up greatly because all the brain-dead mechanical traders, the tech traders, jump in. I'm more interested in, will it cut through $50 like a knife through butter? There's no resistance between $32.50 and $50. But at $50, if it breaks 50, I think it just keeps going and going and going until it finds a true equilibrium with supply and demand, which means a lot less solar panels, my friends, which is good. We don't want to waste silver on solar panels. It's a very valuable commodity, both monetarily and industrially. And there will be a bifurcation, a split in two different forms of metal. One will be currency as money, at least in the United States, and the other will be for industrial. And I obviously the currency will have to, by definition, be more valuable than the industrial silver. Otherwise, they just take the industrial silver, take the coins and melt them down and put them into industrial. So I would say probably a 30 to 40% premium on the silver used as money compared to the bars and stuff. 30 to 40% premium is my guess. But we'll find out, right? I highly recommend buying, if you live in America, buy Silver Eagles, even before that, pre-65 coinage. That is the money of the realm. That is what we're returning to. So yeah, and it's usually cheaper than the Eagles because Ventus Gibson at the U.S. Mint won't make the Eagles to meet demand, so they got a high premium. But you got to get some in your possession, and don't be sad because you bought that 100-ounce bars or the rounds and all that. Those will be valuable too. They just won't be the most valuable coins, in my opinion. And this will all happen over the next, I don't know, year, 10 years, 20 years. Who knows how fast this could happen? It could happen tomorrow. But what I'm looking for is the shutdown of the COMEX and then the free fair market value trading of silver. And that's coming, I believe. And that probably first stop would be $600. $600 silver. Do the math. Buy your physical silver today because it'll just be for physical silver. No ETFs, no stocks, nothing else. Just physical. That's all it's coming down to now. If you don't have a local guy, go call Andy Scheckman. Send Andy an email, info at milesfranklin.com, milesfranklin.com, and buy your last silver purchases. I highly recommend doing it before we get too close to the election because if you're buying from an online dealer, they gotta source it and ship it to you. You don't want your silver caught in transition. So make your final purchases today. And that's what I got for you. Again, check out the Jenny Moonstone discussion. We talk about a lot of this stuff. She has predicted so many things in silver over the years. She was the one who got me on the trail of the Warren Buffett, JPMorgan, Bank of America deal. She said they're working on a new deal. I feel it. Something's happening. It's going to be a different kind of rig job than JPMorgan did, blah, blah, blah. And voila, we're at the end of that now. And we talk about what's next. So check that out, roadrooter.com. If you want to subscribe, we are currently giving away, at least for right now, 10 Theta, 100 Theta fuel, and 1,000 T-drop loaded on paper wallet sent to your front door. As Theta skyrockets, we will lower that number down 5 Theta or 1 Theta, depending on how fast the price goes. So hang on your hats for that. If you're a non-crypto person, this is perfect for you because you take your slip of paper, your paper wallet, and you stick it in your vase, in your safe with your silver, and voila, just don't look at it. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, click like and subscribe too on this YouTube video. They pretty much stopped my growth on the channel. Once you're in view of these guys, they won't let you grow any further. So I'm pretty much stuck at whatever I have, 120, 130,000 viewers. Like and subscribers. Like and subscribe, and we can see what we can do there. All right? I'll talk to you guys later.